Okay, I'm here with head coach Mark Hall, a 41-14 win over Ferrum. They improved to 1-0 in Conference Carolinas play, 3-1 on the season. Coach, your initial thoughts from today's win?
Certainly happy to win. Like I told the team in the locker room afterwards, I remember how we felt 3 weeks ago after the Wingate game. So, to win 3 in a row, to be 1-0 in the conference. Last year at this time, we were 0-4. So certainly happy to be 3-1 and, to continue the winning streak. So a lot to be happy about, but certainly a lot to improve on. I felt like we left a lot of plays on the field, and I think the kids know that. So if we want to reach our goals, be a conference champ, and continue to win and beat good teams, we got to be better than we were tonight. But we found a way to win 41-14, so no complaints on that, and we'll come back ready to work on Monday.
Defensively, I know a couple scored in the fourth quarter, but for the first 3 quarters, pretty lights out. What went well there on the defensive end?
I thought we were winning the line of scrimmage. It's something we felt good about coming into the game. We felt like if we could do a good job on first and second down, then we could, dictate the game, and I thought we did that. Certainly didn't finish well in the fourth quarter, which I know Coach Neely and the guys are frustrated about, but, you hold a team to really 0 points through 3 quarters, and, there really wasn't much of a threat in terms of scoring until the end of the game, so I thought those guys did well.
7 sacks by group up front. As you talked about, big in the trenches, obviously, and all of those were in key spots and, third down and so forth.
I thought that was key. It's something that we've been so close on in the first 3 weeks of getting the finished product, of getting sacks to finish the game or finish plays. Today we were able to get 7 sacks. 7 sacks in a game is outstanding. I don't know how many TFLs we ended up with, but we were living in the backfield. So that was good to see. Like I said, coming into it, we wanted to try to dominate the line of scrimmage, and I thought we did.
E.C. Atute and Marquis Raspberry are the 2 guys coming in here. Obviously, they were a big part of that as well.
Yeah, it was good to see E.C. He's been one of the main guys that have been really close on finishing plays. He's played really hard. He just hasn't gotten the stats that he wants, obviously, through the first 3 games, but he certainly impacted the other team and helped our defense the first 3 games of the season. But it was good for him to actually show up and get the TFLs and sacks today. And then Raspberry obviously is one of our best players. We blitz him a lot. He sets the tone physically. He should have had a pick 6, but missed on that. But Marquise and EC are 2 of our best players, so we need them to continue to play well.
Offensively, kind of a return to a lot of the big plays like we've seen from some of the explosive games the last couple of years. I knew.
Yeah.
Question, but
yeah, that's honestly
when you can have those big game plays like that.
Yeah, no, it's great to have big plays. We have good players that can get the ball down the field and create mismatches and are good with the ball in their hands. And it's certainly how we want to play is be able to be explosive. Certainly didn't play championship offense tonight. I think we had a few players that did individually, but as a unit, just not good enough. But we just left too many opportunities on the field. The 2 turnovers, we got to be better in terms of protecting the football. We look a little disjointed at times when we get inside the 10, and that's on me 100%. And so we got to get that figured out if we want to try to make a push to be a conference champion.
Trey had a couple of turnovers, as you mentioned, but then had a lot of good as well. And one specific play with him, the tumble he took there going into the end zone.
Yeah, no, that's the thing right now with Trey is he makes a lot of plays. He's got a lot of ability. I don't know if you guys plan on talking to him tonight, but if you do, I think he's going to come in here and tell you that he didn't play very well. And I coach those quarterbacks extremely hard. We put a lot on their plate. And I think those guys have such an important role on our offense, but as a team, we expect those guys to come out firing at all times. We can't really afford to have him play kind of inconsistent at times, and I think that's kind of been the thing with Trey. You know, I think he had 4 touchdowns tonight, and usually you have 4 touchdowns, you feel pretty good. But when you throw 2 interceptions, and you probably miss 10 other opportunities, you know, I think he knows he has a lot of room for growth, and we all do. And, you know, we believe in Trey. You know, we've obviously won 3 in a row with him as our starter. You know, but I got to do a better job coaching him, putting him in a position to be successful so we can, you know, play a little better at times on offense.
I don't know this for a fact. It's probably been quite a while since a 47-yard field goal here. So Taylor Harris kicked 2 today and converted all those extra points as well. Yeah,
no, honestly, I would say that's been a bright spot for us the last couple weeks. Taylor has really worked at this thing. You know, he was with us last year. You know, we seen the potential in Taylor the whole time when we brought him up here last year as a freshman out of Florida. But he's really locked in this year. He's worked his tail off. You know, so I don't hesitate anymore of putting those guys out there to kick field goals. You know, we'd had the 47-yarder in the fourth quarter, and he cashed it. It was good probably from 55. He's been super consistent. He's been pretty good on kickoffs. So that's been great to see, and I think that's a weapon that we're going to end up needing down the stretch. And then, you know, Marley, our punter, he's never really punted in games before until he came here. Obviously, he's trained as a punter, and I think he got over here from Australia, and it just moved so fast for him. So I think he felt like he had to rush the first couple weeks on his punts, but I think he's finally starting to settle in. He had a great punt. I think it was in the fourth quarter as well, his best hit of the season. So I think that part has been really nice to see, you know, with Marley punting and obviously with Taylor kicking. And like I said, I think as we go down the stretch here and we play, you know, those meaningful conference games and beyond, you know, special teams, field position, the kicking game is going to be huge for us.
Getting off to a good start in conference play, but also up next is another one of those tough non-conference games that you've scheduled. So, Valdosta next week.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I think for me and just our team in general, we know if we play like we did tonight, we're not going to go down on the road. We're not going to go on the road next week and beat Valdosta. And we certainly are capable. I mean, obviously they're a heck of a team. They're the reigning national runner-up. They're top 25. We have a lot of things stacked against us going into the week anyway. It's their home opener. You know, they've had a bye week this week, so they had an extra week to prepare for us. It's going to be our first real road game. Obviously, we were on the road at Wingate the first game of the season, but it was a day trip. It's easy for all our Pembroke fans to come down there. We're about to travel 8 hours on the road, probably have 50 people in the stands. We're going to have to handle the trip on Friday, be able to get up Saturday, and play a clean 60 minutes if we want a chance to beat Valdosta.
That's it. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we're here with Hugh Kennedy, 4 catches tonight, 56 yards and a big catch in tonight's win against Ferrum. Just your opening thoughts from your guys' first conference win of the season.
Yeah, the conference win is always good. It's our first one of the season. Coach told us don't come out here and take this team lightly, so we was ready.
A lot of big plays tonight, kind of like the what we've seen from y'all in some of those high-scoring games the last couple of years. So how important was that to have those big explosive plays tonight?
So Trey always, he told me he counted on me to make the big plays when he get me the ball. A lot of my big plays got called back tonight. Most of my catches got called back. So yeah, my helmet got snatched off one of them. Yeah, man.
Yeah, with Trey at quarterback, did have a couple mistakes, but other than that, solid game from him. And what have you seen from him, kind of his maturity this year?
Trey a dog. I realize Trey a dog. He'll take a hit like a running back and get back up. Yeah, Trey a dog.
This season, we've kind of talked about a lot on the broadcast. You, Jaquan, and Malik have just kind of been a three-headed monster. You know, what's it like having 3 guys like yourselves just out there every week making plays and, you know, helping out Trey with that?
Coach Easton let us know every week. He said we got to be the group. We got to be the group that make the team go. The team, Coach Nilly, he on the defensive side. He always come before the game, let us know that we got to be the group that make the team go.
And then this week you guys have Valdosta coming up. You know, what are your expectations against, you know, the reigning runner-up in Division II.
I'm ready. I think we played better when we got a challenge. Like tonight was you feel me? So we came out, played a little sluggish at first, but Delta State was a challenge, so we played better. I feel like when we got challenged, we played better. We locked in better.
All right, thanks, Q.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, we're here with quarterback Trey Robinson, 12-16 tonight, 212 yards through the air, 3 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown as well. Another good night for you offensively, and you guys picked up the win, 41-14. Your opening thoughts from tonight's win?
I think that as an offense, we have to play better. We know that was definitely not our best performance, especially by me. It starts with me because I'm the leader of the offense, so, I have to play better, but, we got to win. It's hard winning, so we got to win, and that's what we got to look forward to.
I know some ups and downs, but the ups, a lot of big plays, kind of like you had in some of those as a team in some of those high-scoring games in the last couple of years. So how big were having some of those big game plays in this one?
It was great, just watching the offense move downfield. Coach gives an amazing play call, so being able to execute the play is amazing, but, when you don't execute it, it feels bad. But looking on the good, when we executed, we're an amazing offense. I feel like we're still building, and we still have some things to get better at, but I think that we're on the right direction.
The touchdown run, kind of taking a tumble there, on the way into the end zone. Take me through that play.
It was also a new play we put in this week. I knew that I just had to make a play for myself. I don't have a problem putting my body on the line. So that's why, I think I did a front flip or something like that. So, I got in the end zone, and that's all that mattered.
Good start in conference play, getting the win, and then got a big game next week with Valdosta. So where do you guys go from here?
We know going into it, just kind of like Delta State, we know that they're a quality opponent. We know that we're a quality opponent. So obviously getting the dub versus Delta State, a top 25 team, was amazing. So I know that we have to build up off that, and we have to execute. I think we play pretty good against those teams. So we know that we have to be clicking on all cylinders to dominate.
You were in Devin and Cedric's shoes last year as a freshman, playing a lot of reps. What do you like out of those two tonight?
I think that I like a lot out of both of those. Obviously, they still have a lot to work on, but I think that they're going to be two great players. Devin, he had some amazing runs tonight. Cedric, I think he's going to be really good, but just getting them in and being able to play, all they need is reps. So I think they'll be great players.
That's it. Thank you, Trey. Okay, I'm here with EC Iatute. A big night for you, 2.5 sacks. 2.5 tackles for loss. Had a sack and a half. Just a big night for you and the defensive line all around. What was going right for you guys?
Sure, it's been a point of emphasis to really get home this week, you know what I'm saying? So coach has been on us all week, and we just been locked in all week on getting home this week for real. So it was a good job for the whole D-line.
First 3 quarters held them to no points and only a few first downs. What was going well for you there defensively to hold them in check that well?
It was just all of us as a defense collectively, we really wanted the shutout. We were shooting for that, but just staying locked in really the whole time, because halftime, because some teams be starting coming out slow, we just made sure to stay fast and be on their tail, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. More explosiveness, it seemed like, getting in the backfield with all the sacks and TFLs. So.
For sure. The energy definitely was there once we was heading home for sure. You definitely seen that as a team, so it was good to see that happen.
Starting off conference play with a positive result, so how big is that for you guys?
It's real big. We definitely want to be champs, that's what we strive for. There's a lot of people that's down us, so we got that chip on our shoulder. We ready to go out and get it, you know what I'm saying? So.
What's it like out there, you guys had 13 tackles for a loss tonight, 7 sacks. What's it like just on that side of the football, seeing everything kind of going right statistically, and obviously got a big win?
It was good, you know what I'm saying? Just like I was saying, the energy, just our guys playing together, we starting to really pick up that team chemistry for real. So it was great to just have that happen tonight and exploit on that.
And then how important is it to keep this defensive momentum rolling in?
Oh yeah, we definitely got to. We definitely got to keep this momentum rolling. We're gonna be locked in. Starting on Monday, actually really starting tomorrow with treatment. We gotta go get right. Coach New was telling us that we gotta go get right. You know what I'm saying? So that back on Monday, watch film, and then rest of the week stay locked in, stay focused on the next opponent.
All right, that's it. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right, he's here with Marquise Raspberry, 6 tackles tonight, 2.5 tackles for a loss. Had a sack and a half, a forced fumble, a pass breakup. Kind of all over the stat sheet tonight. Another big game for you. Just walk us through what was going right for you on the field.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the negative. I'm still mad about that PBU. I dropped the pick. I should have had that. I should have took that home. So that was on me. We've been talking about capitalizing on all of the offense's mistakes this week. So, I mean, I feel like we did that for the most part. And it was great to do that coming off the big win over Delta State to keep the momentum flowing in the Valdosta. Overall, I feel like the team played great today on defense. We held them to 0 up until end of the third quarter going into the fourth. And it was lights out performance by the D-line. Linebackers played well. The secondary, I mean, we do the same thing every week, you know? So I'm just happy and outplayed today, and hopefully, you know, transition into next week.
7 sacks and 13 TFLs as a team, and that wasn't just from the front, because you were a big part of that from the secondary. So, you know, how do you describe kind of those explosive plays defensively to get in the backfield and get those stops?
That's that Coach Neely mentality. You know, he's not one person to shy away from blitzing and sending pressure. That's what he do. So to have a coach like that believe in his guys and allow us to play free and go make those plays, you know, it's just a shout out to him. That's all come from his play call.
How much is this really a good start for y'all conference-wise to have a positive result, start at 1-0?
It's good because the conference stuff is really what's the most important right now. That's what contributes to us going to the playoffs or not. So to have a conference win right now and be able to keep that rolling for the conference, send a message to the conference with a big win of 38-0 for majority of the game, I mean, that's major.
So you didn't have your pick 6, but the next play you had a sack.
Yeah.
You know, I know obviously it's not your pick 6, but, you know, having a solo sack, what was that like at the end?
You know, next play mentality. You know, I knew I messed up the play before that. So for Coach Neely again to trust me and call my number and say, hey, go make up for it. You know, for me to be able to go do that meant a lot for me, and it boosted my confidence back to where it needed to be going into next week.
There we go. All right. Appreciate it, Rasmus.
Appreciate you.